Hello, welcome back to Ginny's. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to be showing you how to make Christmas fondant toppers. Okay, so it's obviously coming up to Christmas and these are so lovely and really quite simple to do. I just wanted to show you. So I've made these yesterday and now I'm going to show you how to make them. So today I am going to be using the Sugarpaste Direct Extra Stretch and really like that one. As I'm working with this, I'm going to show you that when it says extra stretch, it really means it, and it's so easy to use. I absolutely love it. Now, if you can see this side here, I've got my Grinch and my Santas. The Santa is a tutorial that I've done on my Facebook group, which is Ginny's Cakes, Tutorials and Recipes, and that's a live video on there if you want to do the chocolate orange Santa that I've got behind me. And the Grinch is going to be coming soon, and that's coming up on YouTube here. So if you make sure you subscribe to my channel, you'll get a notification when that one comes up. And again, I've used the Sugarpaste Direct for all of these. Right, so what you need to do when you first begin with Sugarpaste, the first knead is really important, and also the quality of the product that you're using is so important. When I first started using Sugarpaste, I was buying it from the just store bought, and I just watched cry, kept cracking, and elephant skin and everything. So look at this. I mean, that is just, it's like chewing gum, and it's got a lovely flavour to it, and it's just so easy to use. So it's a UK product, but it does ship to Ireland as well. Right, we are going to begin. So I'm going to put down some cornstarch. We always use cornstarch, not icing sugar. If we use icing sugar, then it's just going to absorb the icing sugar and make it sticky. Right, I've only rolled mine halfway. Now when I'm doing cupcakes, I want to make sure that each one of these toppers are the very same size. So what I do is I have my own pasta machine, and I don't cook, so I've never made pasta. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the lowest, just give it a little bit of a coat. Now, if you're working with fondant, I absolutely adore these. I got mine off of Amazon. It's just a cheap one. Right, and then you can, it does come with something that holds it to the table, but I'm not using it. So all I'm doing is just coming through on the lowest setting there, which is number 1, and then giving that a rub out there. Move that away. And then I've got completely uniform sugar paste there. So I'm just going to go over it with my, look at that, amazing, it's got such a shine on it. So then I'm using my cutter. So when you get your cutters, if you just pop it across the top of your cupcake like this, it should just fit on the inside. So I'm going to cut out some of these. I'm done. So I don't need this one anymore. I've got my cupcakes behind me. Now you're probably going to wonder why when I bring them forward they look a bit domed. Now I have deliberately, I added a tiny little bit more baking soda. So I'm going to put the link to these underneath. This is my chocolate cupcake. In fact, my nephew wants these and he has requested these. So if you allow the dome to happen, when you put them on and just push down, you've got this dome effect that's actually happening. Right, I'm going to begin with the candy cane. So this is my red. This is the red directly from the Sugarpaste Direct. This is how this comes. There's a box on the back there, which is red. I've got the red and I've got the green, and they're the ones that I'm using for this. And the white. So again, same as always, just work it, bring it back into its form. Okay, we probably need it to be, if you look at the size of the cupcake there, you can kind of see, and it needs to bend over. So I'm going to cut off here, take those bits to one side. We're going to get some water. I only ever use water. And across the top of the red one, just on the top. Now I've been asked the question, how do you stop it from bleeding? The only reason it bleeds is because you add too much water. So if you do put on a little bit too much, get a dry brush afterwards. See the residue coming off there? Just get a dry brush afterwards, pull off the excess. It's only enough to make it tacky. Make sure your fingers are good. Just gonna pop that across the top. Right. And then I'm gonna twist and twist. Take the ends, twist. Okay, and then roll. We're going to start again. Come into the middle, twist out that way, into the middle, and twist out that way, and roll. The reason we put the water on is because if you hadn't, they won't stick together and they'll just slide out. And there is our candy cane. We need to look and see then the kind of length that we need on this. So we know we're good with length. So I'm going to take my knife, and like I said, I've got a sharp knife and I'm freehanding. But you could use a ruler. Okay. And then I'm going to put that back down. and trace. Now I'm lifting my knife up and down, up and down. I'm not just dragging. If you drag with fondant, you're going to rip it. So my motion is I'm just going up and down like this. Right, so now I have two the same size. Don't worry if they wiggle around a little bit. If they're a bit choppy, just wipe them on the surface. Okay, back in with the water again. Then we're going to put the water on here where we want it. So straight across the top with one of them. And lay that down. Take your knife. And just cut and pull. Excellent. There it is a little bit, just tease it in like that. Right, next we have to do the other sides. So again, water, where you want it to be, and where you want it to be. I'm going to cut this in half, make sure it's a sharp cut, and we're going to do the same. I'm going to push it out and drop it, push it up and drop it, push those edges in at the sides, take your knife, clean cut. Lovely. Okay. So now you can see this joint, but this is where our bow is going to go. So we've got this, the bits that you cut off if they were long enough, otherwise you'll have to make some more and just make sure that they are the same size. So I'm just going to cut one part off here to make it clean, and then we want them to be exactly the same size. So another one. There we go. And this is so simple. Take it like this. And just pinch it together. Same with the other one. Take it like that. Just pinch it together. A little bit of water. And push down. Same with this one. A little bit of water and push down. Okay? Other end of your brush. Just pop it in. Push that part down like that. Pop it in and push that part down like that. Water again. Minimal amount. Pop it over those joins there. Take one, line it up to the centre. Take the other one, line it up to the centre. Push down into the middle there. Push those in so that they lift. And the more you lift them up there, that seam will just look very natural. And look. Excellent. Right, let's go up a step and do our polar bear. So I've got a large nozzle here, and I'd say that that's about 1 inch. So you need something that's around about 1 inch in diameter. There we go. And we just take out a circle like that. We're going to take just a piece of white, rub it around in our fingers, bit of water onto there, and we're just going to pop that a little bit up, just there. And leave it there. Then we're going to get some more water. We're going to put it on the back of this one again. A little bit, not too close to the edge, just so it sticks. Find your central point, which is hard from back here. Finger in the middle. Just come over the tops like this. And then using your finger, you just want to try to smooth those in together the whole way around. And again, this is why I stress that such a good sugar paste is so important, because this still binds so well. There we go. Okay, so now you've got, if you're wondering what I'm doing, we have this part, all right? Now we're going to make the mark down the middle. So you're going to take your knife, you're going to find the centre. So come right to the centre here. Just going to find mine so that I can do it with you from here. Okay, from the top, halfway down. Okay, and then just to come all the way through, then I've just used the top part of the knife. Take the knife again, and just using a small part of it, you just want to make a straight line. Let me see first before I show you, because it's already getting scoot with. That's it. Right, so you want to make a straight line and just push that in there. And that's going to be the beginning of where, and we are giving him a smile because it's Christmas and we don't want to frighten anybody. So I've then, as in tools, I have tools for these things. If you don't, you can use your knife, but I'm using my serrat here with the pointed edge. And then all I've done is just, spinning him, come in with the pointed end at the edge and then the pointed end at the edge, and just made a little face like that there. So he's got a smile and he's got a nose, okay? Next we need to do the eyes. Again, I have a ball tool for this. So everything that I've used, I'm going to put in the description box underneath. So we need to make a marking. So go from your halfway up, push in, go across. Don't push too much, because remember, we're really just using this as a guide. If you push too much, you're going to go right the way through. Just like that. And then we need one for the nose. So we're going to come into the middle of where this is and push, and then go to the side and push, and then the other side and push. So we want like a little well like that. And that's where his nose is. You can already see him coming together. Okay, now before I put on any black, I am going to finish off with white, because you're going to get black on your hands and we need to wash our hands then, and it'll all just be a pain. So I've also got a tiny little, one of these. Again, I will link it, unless you've got something else. You could use a nozzle. Push those out. Okay, I'm going to do it this way so you can see. So I'm going to take the ball tool and just push in. So I've made a mark there, just like that. And then I'm going to take my two fingers, push it in, and we've got an ear. Okay, let's do the very same with the other one. If this gets sticky, just get some corn flour on it. Again, we're coming in, we're just lying it flat and just placing it down, using my two fingers and pushing that in. And we have two ears. Okay, we're going to stick these in. So what we're going to do is just see where I'm going to do it this way so you can actually see. So a little bit of water again, little bit, just on this part. Find your eye and come up to the side. Then just pop it where it's meeting here, and it will settle in there, and the case will help it to stay. And then give it that look again, so you want it flat at the top and pushed in there towards the ear part. Lovely. We're going to do the same with this one. So a bit of water on there, find the eye and come up. Push it into the cupcake case and then use your finger. You can use your bull tool then just to push in there and push in there, and that will secure those ears, and it will give you that lovely circle mark back if you lost it. Okay, we have ears. This one needs to be a little bit more pointed. There. Again, always rolling it around. Let's take some water, pop it into the eyes. See how much water come off then? Don't want that much. Okay, right, we need to make a nose, we need to make eyes. So, nose, I've cut some off. All I'm doing, roll it around in your hands, then take your thumb and finger and do that, and it gives you this oval shape. Pop it across the top to see whether it looks too big. I like a big nose there. So I'm happy with that one. Push it down so it's even on both sides. Use your fingers there just to stretch it out. Push it down just to make sure that it looks even. You can just have a little play around with that. And then use your fingers to push up. There we go, look. Just play around with it. Eyes. Eyes are a bit more difficult. Take a piece, roll it up in your hand. Do what we did with the nose, but make this one more of a sausage. Try and make sure that they're equal either side, and then cut straight through the middle. Roll them both around in your fingers, and they should be of equal size. And then we're just going to pop these in. Use the back end of your finger just to get them in. So now you can paint this middle part here, or you can put some fondant in, or you can just leave it. Really don't have to do this. So we're going to take some more, we're going to roll it up. Just keep rolling to make it as thin as you can. Then once you've got a thin part, this can be a pain. So if you just want to paint it or leave it, that's absolutely fine. So I'm just rubbing and rubbing. Right, take some of your brush through the middle, through here. Now I didn't put that back in, that should have been wet enough. Then I'm just gonna drop that off my finger, because it's likely to break because it's thin, okay? Pull that out. Drop it in and let go. Take your brush. I'm just teasing, I'm not pushing, I'm just teasing. And then in here, cut. Then the very, very same. Just drop it in. There. Take it through. Use your brush to tease it in. And then I'm going to pull mine, because it's thicker at one end. I'm going to put a finger on there and pull, and that'll bring it thinner again. And mine came off, but I'm just using my brush there just to stick it back together all the way through. Now my top part didn't meet, so again with the brush, there we go. We have a happy face, a happy polar bear. So all we need to do now is just do these markings that I had, and we will be done. So again, I've got this tool that the Serrat, which I love. It's got a hard, sharp part on the end here, and I'm literally just going to tiny. You can do this with anything sharp. Don't push too hard. Just keep going around, all around in one direction. So what I'm doing is coming here, in, and then up, like around, like the clock. This is just dusky pink. Tap it, and don't push in and rub. If you push in and rub, it's just going to dent it. So all you're doing is drop on and just come around. Okay, and then the same the other side. So follow yourself across like this. See where you are. So there I am. Lovely, and then we're just going to go into those ears. So again, just keep going around and around in a circle. Drop a little bit in the middle, and around in a circle. Okay, so I've just got some white edible paint here. You can use whatever you like, and then I've got something pointed, so a cocktail stick would be great for this. So all I do is just take the tiny little point, pop it on, and then drop it down. So we need to do that in the same place on both, okay? So I'm going to get some more. Where am I? Here. Should be about here. And drop it. And then across the top of your nose, there's like, so I do it with the same thing, and I just touch and drag, and it just gives it that little bit of white just there. And we have a polar bear done. Right, next, Snowman. And then you just want to see on there that it fits, which it does. So I'm going to take my knife, just cut a straight line across. Then you want to take the cutter that you used. So I'm going to put this across the top of his head here, and just, oops, make sure it's right. Lovely. And then we're just going to push down to make markings of where it needs to be and pull them up. And I've got those marks there. So then take your cutter over the top of the marks, push it down, and we're good to stick on. So that was easy enough. There we go. Right. Water again. Across the top, not too close to the edges. There we go. Pull it in. Okay, and then using your fingers, smooth outwards. There we go. And then across the front, you see you've got this lip. You really don't want that. So you're going to smooth there to smooth out that lip. There we go. So now we need another part. So let's take some more, and we need to just put a rim across the top of this. So again, roll it out. See that you've got enough thickness, which I don't. To go across. Make your mark here underneath so that you've got somewhere that you can cut to. So I've got my mark, so I'm going to take my knife. Remember what we did before, up, down, up, down. Okay? And then you just want to make it a reasonable size, up, down. Right. There you go. Take your knife, and we need to make marks. So you're just going to go up and down, just trying to make them the same distance apart. Lovely. Right. Then we need to make small holes for eyes. Now, I've not given him massive eyes. So, take from your hat, where this is, come down and just push in with your fingers. So, I'm coming from my hat because that should be central. Come down here and just push in slightly, okay? And that's going to give you your line, and then come just underneath the hat. One side and push, the other side and push. There you go. So make them a little bit bigger than that. I'm going to get it like that and around. And then directly in the middle, we're going to put one there for the nose, and just I'm coming, swinging out just to make this one a little bit bigger. Right, so now we need to make a nose. So I'm just going to get a tiny little bit of the green of the orange. Mine's nearly all gone. And this is going to go all over my fingers, so I'm going to have to run and clean my hands in just a second. Around and around in your hands. Roll it. You're going to tip more towards this end. So you're going to come to a nice point here. Then come up a little bit, less pressure, round and around. Take your knife, push it around, and you're going to get these indentations like a carrot. Keep going, just pushing it with the knife. Don't cut into it. There you go. Excellent. Water. Inside. Nose. Inside. Now we need to do some eyes. So back with your black, always the black last. So the eyes on this aren't that big. So always do eyes in the same way. Roll so that they're the same. Cut them directly in half. rather than between your fingers. Have a look. And the same, right, water inside, water inside. I've not dipped that water, I've literally just used what was on there. And we have eyes. So if you find mouths difficult, you can just go and do one on the side instead of coming all the way around. So to do that, just come in and just draw round on the side part with a knife. It always tends to look that little bit cheekier. Now I like to smooth it out with my tool, one way and then the other way. And then if you've got something with a point, go in on one side and then just in there on the other side, and it just picks it out a little bit. Okay, so we're just gonna put some pink backwards and forwards into his mouth. Just there. And then the very same thing we did before with the the cheeks. There we go. We have another one done. Right, nearly there. So, Christmas pudding time. So, we've got this one. And we're just going to leave that there to dry out a little bit. Right, now the best way to do this, I've found, is you want to find the centre of your cupcake, which is there, and then I'm just going to take this and place this down so loosely. So I've got an impression there, but I haven't actually made a mark that you're going to notice. Then I'm going to do this freehand. So I have a knife. Pull this forward for you. So I've got this little round mark here. And then, as if I was going to do a start, I'm going to do a drop here, a drop on each side. So I'm going to come in from the mark I've got, come down, around, back up, follow around my mark, round, down, back up, same again. There we go. Pull that out. And then we're just gonna rub this down on the sides. Just make sure that it fits first, which it does. Okay, and then those edges are just too thick. So come in with your finger, push each one of the edges down all the way around. Don't worry about the finger marks for a moment. There we go. And then just smooth everything out. Holly. Move that to one side. Holly, I am doing freehand. If you've got a cutter, use a cutter for this. But the best way to do it is to cut a stencil out, put it over the top and cut it, okay? So I am just going to freehand, and I come in, move out, come back in, out, in, and to the bottom. So then when you come back in, it will drag down, but try and keep your fingers close to the edges. Out, come in, out, in, and down. So when you pull it out, it looks like this, and it doesn't look the best, but we'll sort that out. So now, you're going to take the end here and squeeze that with your fingers. Take this side, oops, don't drop it, and the top, and squeeze it. Take this side, squeeze, and this side, squeeze. Do the other one. So I'm just going to squeeze and lift up. And the same there. And you begin to get this, which looks like holly. Again, if you do have a cutter, just use the cutter. Okay, so that's one piece. Just down, down, make one line all the way down through the middle, down, down, and down. And you just want them coming up, like they're grabbing onto something, and that's what gives that realistic look. I'm going to get some green. Colour is really what makes these things pop. So I've got some green luster dust, doesn't matter what colour. Then around the sides, just colour all around the sides. Again, I'm just going to play around there. Be very careful now because this is wet. You've got a lot of colour there, so once you put it down, you really don't want to be lifting it back off. So I'm going to put one in there. like that. Don't touch it with your fingers. Just pull those bits of holly up. There we go. And then the other one. Okay, and just to finish off, if you want them to lift, let's get some kitchen roll and pop it underneath until it dries. And that'll keep those like that. So, we now have holly and a Christmas pud. Right, we are so nearly there. So now we've got a poinsettia. Okay, so with this one I am using some little tools. Obviously I'm just showing you how you can do these. You don't have to be doing all of them. So I'm just going to take some green. I've got this one here. Again, everything that I've got I will put underneath, but you might have something very similar. So I want 4 of these. Now I do have a leaf marker. You can just put a line up through the middle, just like I have done with the holly there. Don't always have to have tools, it's just I've got them. And then I've got one that is just flush all around the outside. We need a few of these. Okay, and then I've got a flower, I've got a rose marker here. Again, you don't have to use anything, you can just use a knife through the middle. Right, that's those done. So now it's time to colour again. So I've got my green, which is here. And then the very same as last time. You just define all around the outside edges and then through that centre part and leave it to one side. Get the red, and don't forget you can add other bits of colour, so you can add a bit of brown, you can add a bit of red. It is autumn, so there are sometimes, if you could just take a tiny little bit of red, dab it across the top, it just gives that little bit of extra colour, and then always go in with a soft brush afterwards. So with these ones I am going to use the bigger one. I'm going to put it inside this so it doesn't go everywhere. So. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken each one of these and just brushed across the top. Now we're going to put this together. Bring in your leaves. I've washed my hands because you don't want to be touching this with it. This time we're going to put a little bit of water on the back. It's too much. 1. And we are just going to go opposite one another. 2. 3. Now I'm only putting water at the top end, not at the bottom, because I am going to put some blue roll on these just to lift these up slightly once I'm done. And then we're going to start attaching these. So again, water, and then you're going to go in between this, on top, in between, on top, and that's what we're going to do the whole way round. Let's move you forward. Okay, and then the last thing is we're just going to put the little dots across it. So I'm going to take these. Right, I'm going to put a little bit more gold inside this. This is what this looks like. It's very red and gold in there. Just want to put a little bit more in. Then I'm going to lift these up, drop them in. And then I'm going to swirl this around so that it kind of gets stuck in there. Okay, get some kitchen roll again, or some blue roll if that's what you've got, same as me. Roll it up, take parts off. Okay, I'm done. What a mess that was. So these are the ones that I've done beforehand. So the difference with these is that these are flat. So this is done on a flat cupcake. Whereas you've got this one, and then let me tip these up in the box. There we go, you can see. There they are. Now they are done on the domed cupcake. So as I've said to you, I did just put a little bit more of the baking soda, because these are my chocolate ones, into it just to make those dome up just that little bit more. It didn't affect the taste or the texture or anything, it just allowed them to just have a little bit more of a dome on them to allow me to be able to do this on the top. All the tools that I've used for this, the Sugarpaste Direct Extra Stretch, all of this. My brain's gone to pot now. It's been a busy day. I am going to link all underneath this tutorial, so drop it down. Obviously you may not want all of these. It's going to be a long tutorial because we've done so many things all the way through it, but you can stop and you can skip and you can go on to the next one. And I hope you enjoy this, and let me know what you think. I'd love to see yours. Come on to my Facebook group, which is Ginny's Cakes, Tutorials and Recipes, and I love interacting with everybody on there. It's such a lovely place, and you can show me your work, and that would be absolutely great. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can see when my grapes is coming, and I will see you very, very soon. Enjoy these. Take care. Bye bye.